Hello gamers, Pixie Vixen here, back with another World of Warcraft video. Thank you guys so freaking much for all the support on my last video. I really appreciate it, and I read all the comments. I'm taking everything you guys are saying into consideration and have followed along with what you have recommended thus far. But thank you guys. I really appreciate the likes, the comments, the subs, and I wanted to apologize for the audio. I'm not sure why I was so quiet, but moving forward, I will make sure that the audio is edited to perfection. So my apologies on that. But one of the things that you guys recommended was for me to watch a little bit about Garrosh Hellscream. I do feel like he is a pretty early character here in the lore journey, so I'm intrigued to learn more about him. So that's what we will be reacting to today. Something that you guys also recommended was for me to read the book Arthas by Christy Golden. This book, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Seriously, I love Arthas. He's so sweet. I'm only 50 pages in. He's so sweet. I love his dad. He seems like such a good king. And Anduin just came in, and I've seen him in retail, and they're talking about the fall of Stormwind, and I just think about me running through Stormwind, and I feel like I know the city so well, but to learn all the backstory and the lore, I'm just so excited, and I'm enjoying it so much. When I first got this book, of course you read the back. Can we just listen to this for a second? His evil is legend, lord of the undead, wielder of the rune blade Frostmourne, and the enemy of the free people of Azeroth. The Lich King is an entity of immaculate power and unparalleled malice, his icy soul utterly consumed by his plans to destroy all life on the world of Warcraft. I mean, I'm sad. These books are reminding me of when I read a couple of the Game of Thrones books. They're also like little and small, so I love that. I love a little book, but this book is awesome. I'm super enjoying it, and I'll do a book review when I finish. I'm planning on reading this in a timely manner. I have a couple flights coming up soon, and I crush books on flights. But if you guys wouldn't mind commenting down below what order I should read the books in. I found a couple different answers online, but y'all are the OGs. Y'all know everything best, so I'm going to take your word for it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video today, learning a little bit about Garrosh Hellscream, but make sure to stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to be playing Warcraft 3, and I've never played a game like that before. To be totally honest, not sure if I'm going to enjoy a game like that, but a lot of you commented down below that it is great to learn the lore, and I'm listening, and I agree. So going to give that a shot, so make sure to stick around for that video. But again, thank you guys so much for the support, and I really am excited to go on this lore journey with all of you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Okay, I just checked the audio, and it wasn't very good, so I have to wear the headphones, which means I can't wear my elf ears. Good audio, no elf ears. It's a casualty. It's a big summer bummer, but we gotta do it. So the video I'm watching today is Garrosh Did Nothing Wrong. Quite a controversial title. I feel like a similar title could be Sylvanas Did Nothing Wrong. Like I did in the last reaction video, I'm gonna be over here Googling things I have questions about, so don't mind me when I'm doing that.
Now, the title of this video may come as a surprise to some of you, and you probably clicked on it to see how it's possible to argue that Garrosh, an end boss to an expansion, could do no wrong. Well, obviously he might have done a few bad
Garrosh's
things,
belt is sick.
There are pretty good reasons for it all, and that's what I'll be explaining. Garrosh was introduced in the Burning Crusade as a brooding orc in Nagrand. Garrosh knows that it was his father that drank the demon blood first and doomed his race to the fate they had now. He lived most...
Okay, I have a question. The demon blood. Why? Oh. Okay. The answer said, buckle up. This is where Warcraft lore starts to feel like a toxic family tree dipped into fell energy. Which I know demon hunters become demon hunters because they eat the heart. They eat the heart of a fell, right? I think. Garrosh Hellscream, absolute legend of the Warsong clan, and first orc ever to drink the blood of a demon. He's kind of a tragic badass. Short answer, he was desperate to save the orcs and made a deal with literal hell juice. Long answer, he thought he was empowering his people, but he actually doomed them. Oh. Okay. What else to say? Why he did it? He didn't want the orcs to be seen as weak or controlled, wanted power, didn't realize the full consequences until it was too late. Okay, so it was drank with good intention.
Of his life thinking his father was a big screw up, and in the family-centric culture that the orcs have, was a thing to legitimately be ashamed of. Garrosh was ashamed and afraid of his legacy.
Oh, Garrosh.
Until one day, Thrall shows up and is all like, "Nah, dog, your father was actually the savior of the orcs, not the cause of their downfall. Come join my army and embrace the Hellscream name."
Hellscream is a great
Garrosh
leader name.
does. For the first time in his life, he's proud of what his father is and what he did. And he wants to be just as good, if not better than his father. Of course, Thrall totally whitewashed the history of the Horde, but he was just trying to cheer him up. This will be the first of many mistakes Thrall made, which led to Garrosh's death. Now, Garrosh is a part of the Horde, and even becomes a general and leads the Warsong clan in battles against the Alliance. Now, let me take a moment to explain Orcish culture a little bit.
Okay, please do.
All the clans compete against each other for territory and dominance. They have a very warlike culture, and never united because they were too busy fighting each other. All of a sudden, the demons intervene and all the orc clans unite. With them not infighting anymore.
Okay, but where did the demons come from? Where? Where did the demons come from? And why? And por qué? Dude, ChatGPT is ridiculous. The answer goes, yes! Like, I talk to it too much. It's responding like me. Yes, queen! Where'd the demons come from? Okay. The demons mostly come from the Twisting Nether, a chaotic dimension of pure magical energy. Think hell, but cosmic, flaming, and dramatic. Sounds kind of fun. They're part of a faction called the Burning Legion, which is basically an army of corrupted beings led by a fallen space god named Sargeras? How do you say that? Sargeras? Oh my god. Sargeras. I know Sargeras. I knew that. I said it right the very first time. I've heard of him. I know him. Sargeras was originally a titan, one of the super ancient space gods that shape and protect worlds. His job was to destroy demons and corrupted creatures across the universe. But after millennia of fighting evil, he started to believe the universe itself was flawed and doomed to corruption. Oh, it's giving Thanos a little bit, huh? Little snap action. What the heck? Literally says, so naturally he snapped and said, burn it all down. And created the Burning Legion to wipe the universe clean and restart it. Sargeras, if I burn everything, then evil can't spread. Everyone else. Wait, what? Why did he create the Burning Legion? The Void Lords, evil shadow gods from another dimension, were trying to corrupt the universe. The only way to stop them was to prevent any intelligent life from ever existing long enough to be corrupted. So he built the Legion to go from world to world and to nuke it. He recruited demons. Many were already chaotic creatures from the Nether, corrupted powerful races, and started brainwashing and or annihilating anything in his path. What do the demons want? Well, they just crave chaos, power, and destruction and see Sargeras as their king. Okay, got it.
They have to compete against something, and that's how the Warcraft story started, with Kil'jaeden taking advantage of Orcish culture to wipe out the Dreadeye. Now, back to Garrosh. Garrosh has an enemy to fight, the Alliance and the Lich King. When you do quests for Garrosh in the Boron Tundra, Hellscream sends you out to fight both, and you help him secure a foothold to eventually fight the Lich King, the big man himself who ravished the human kingdoms and destroyed the High Elves. And, by some miracle, he was successful. He was front and center when Arthas fell. Hellscream is the one who gives you the buff in ICC to make the instance easier. Garrosh is seen as a hero to the Horde, especially the young orcs. He's also in the presence of Thrall, who takes him with him to important meetings, as you can see in the Ulduar intro cinematic. Garrosh has proven himself in a pretty short amount of time as someone worthy of his legacy, and even comes to see Thrall as a sort of father figure. Then the cataclysm
Daddy
happens.
issues.
Orgrimmar is pretty banged up from what Deathwing did, and Thrall wants to take off and become Jesus. He decides to put
Thrall is
Hellscream in
just
charge because
absolutely
he is well loved by the
ripped.
orcs. But Hellscream tells Thrall, "No way, dude, I'm a fighter, not a diplomat. This is a bad idea." And Thrall was like, "Well, too bad, dude, I'm doing it anyway, lol." And thrust the title of Warchief on an unwilling Garrosh when the Horde was in the middle of a crisis. So, what does an orcish war hero do when put in charge of the Horde? Well, he runs it like an orc from Draenor.
So did Thrall really just put him in charge because he was like all hyped up? Because he just, I mean, he did just defeat the Lich King, so he just had like popular, you know, whatever I'm trying to say, popular aura. No, but, or was there something deeper to it? Should we find out? I mean, I'm assuming that's why. I'm saying, did Thrall promote Garrosh to Warchief because he was lit? He saw potential in him. He was strong and fierce. I just want to go do cosmic shaman stuff. He'll grow into the role. Okay, so it was like a little bit like, I really just want to go and meditate in the garden. You're all hyped up after this big dub. You're in charge. Okay.
Draenor would run things, identifying the enemy, and do everything in your power to crush your opponent.
I wouldn't want to be
The Horde
Warchief
is low on
either.
supplies since they spent all their money on repairs for Orgrimmar. And since they live in the middle of a desert, natural resources are scarce. The Night Elves cut off trade with the Horde in Ashenvale when the whole Wrathgate fiasco happened, no longer trusting the Horde. So what does Garrosh do?
I mean, I don't know what the Wrathgate. Are we just gonna? Let's see. The Wrathgate incident. The Horde and Alliance finally team up against the Lich King and then get totally backstabbed in the most unhinged way possible. What happens? Wait! This is the thing that you guys all commented for me to watch. Maybe we should watch that. Okay, let me pull that up real quick. Okay. Now we're getting to the good stuff. The Wrathgate. Let's learn the lore the correct way, Pixie. Uh-oh, here they come. Lich King, Arthas, baby boy. I'm so sad this is his destiny. I love him so much in the book right now. Like, love him.
Back, you mindless wretches!
Oh, Zoink Scoops.
Fight on, brothers! Rise up, sons of the Horde! Blood and glory await us!
Here they come. They're teaming up.
For the Horde! I was wondering if you'd show up. I couldn't let the Alliance have all the fun today.
Yoo-hoo, Uber Eats. Just kidding.
Arthas! The blood of your father, of your people, demands justice! Come forth, coward, and answer for your crimes!
Arthas. Oh, he going X game mode. His sword is sick.
You speak of justice, of cowardice. I will show you the justice of the grave and the true meaning of fear.
Enough talk! Let it be finished!
Oh. Uh-oh.
lives you've stolen, traitor!
Boldly stated, but there is nothing you can.
What? Did you think we had forgotten?
Who's that?
Did you think we had forgiven? Behold now the terrible vengeance of the Forsaken.
Sylvanas.
Death to the Scourge! And death to the living!
Oh boy, this is intense.
Now, all can see. This is the hour of the Forsaken.
The Forsaken?
We're finished. No escape for any of us.
Oh no. Oh, snap! Oh my gosh, how could this not be included in that video? I see what y'all were saying. Wow. Okay. But now I have questions. So, yes, out of nowhere, a rogue faction of the Forsaken undead horde members, led by Puritas, bombs the entire battlefield with plague. This plague doesn't just kill Arthas undead. It kills everyone. Alliance, horde, Arthas, he pieces out, but takes damage. Everyone thinks Sylvanas ordered the betrayal. Major drama. Sets up Sylvanas for future untrustworthiness. Okay, I see. So, but why did he do that? Apparently he's a plague goth icon. Oh, right. Well, he was creepy, smart, charismatic, in a you will die screaming kind of way. Sylvanas Windrunner trusted him. He helped develop the Forsaken Plague, claimed to serve Sylvanas, but was scarcely allied with Varimarthus, a dead lord. So he did it because he felt that the Forsaken deserved real freedom. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that was definitely something I needed to watch. Thanks for recommending that. That was a sick scene. You know what it kind of reminded me of? Which World of Warcraft is giving Game of Thrones vibes a little bit. And I love that. I love both of those. But it is reminding me of this scene. World of Warcraft came out first, didn't it? Okay, World of Warcraft came out first, and I'm loving that. So about this scene, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here, but this is how my ADHD brain works. If you haven't seen any Game of Thrones, I'm about to do a big spoiler, so don't watch this. But that Wrathgate scene reminded me of this. It does. Oh, warning, spoilers.
There's something wrong.
I loved her. She's such a baddie.
Nothing to fear, Your Grace. The trial will begin shortly.
Cersei is not here. Tommen is not here. Why do you think they are not here?
If the accused is not here, she will be tried regardless. We cannot escape the justice of the gods.
Forget about the bloody gods and listen to what I'm telling you. Cersei understands the consequences of her absence, and she is absent anyway, which means she does not intend to suffer those consequences. The trial can wait. We all need to leave.
They should have listened to her. The little rat. Look! Oh my gosh, I forgot about this scene. This literally just, that Wrathgate scene just awoke me like a sleeper agent to remember this scene. I gotta watch Game of Thrones again. Game of Thrones watch party in my Discord?
Stay with me.
I know it's gonna happen.
Let me through. Let me through.
Oh man.
Let us through.
Cersei! You dog! Oh my gosh, she was always drinking wine. I forgot about that. Oh my, what a dog. Dude, that reminded me of that. Maybe Game of Thrones got inspo from the Wrathgate. Anything's possible. All right, sorry. ADHD, but I swear that all had a point. Let's get back to the original video.
The natural resources, of course.
Wait, let me rewind
So, what does an orcish war hero do when put in charge of the Horde? Well,
Okay, here
the
we
Night
go.
Elves cut off trade with the Horde in Ashenvale when the whole Wrathgate fiasco happened.
Right?
No longer trusting the Horde. So what does Garrosh do?
I know about that now.
Invades Ashenvale for the natural resources, of course. It was either that or let his people die in the streets of starvation. So the Druids of Ashenvale hold a meeting to maybe let the Horde trade with them again to stop the invasion when they are ambushed at their meeting. One of the Tauren Archdruids in the meeting saw that one of the ambushers was an orc and told Karni. Karni then thought it was Garrosh who was responsible since none of the other racial leaders cared very much for Garrosh at the time. So he challenges Garrosh to a duel, and Garrosh accepts, even though he had nothing to do with the ambush, and he thinks Karni just doesn't like the way he's running things. During the duel, Garrosh kills Karni by accident because Magatha Grimtotem poisoned his weapon before the fight without his knowledge. Turns out, the orc that ambushed the Druids was part of the Twilight Hammer cult, and had nothing to do with Garrosh.
Twilight Hammer cult? Hold up. That sounds sick. Who is they? Am I Googling? Ooh, the Twilight Hammer Club is what are they? They're a cult that worships chaos, madness, destruction, and the old gods. They want to unmake reality so the old gods can rise again and cover the world in ethereal madness. Okay. So they're just a bunch of druggies. They're wooks. They're the wooks of World of Warcraft. Got it.
But, of course, both of these instances still leave a sour taste in the mouth of people for Garrosh, even though he wasn't really responsible for either.
True.
Bolgen, the person Thrall told Garrosh
I know
to turn
him.
to if he ever needed advice, basically insults him and threatens to kill Garrosh. Sylvanas is creating a new plague, just like the one that was used at the Wrathgate, and is killing people intentionally to raise them again as undead.
Oh.
Garrosh goes over there to tell her to cut that shit out.
Hey,
because
girl.
She's behaving no differently than the Lich King. Of course, Sylvanas ignored him and does it anyway. and then asks for Orcish help when things turn sour for her while invading Gilneas. So, what does all this teach Garrosh? Well, the other races of the Horde don't understand what he's doing. He's running the Horde like an orc would, like his father, who he idolized more than anyone would, and he is getting nothing but shit from everyone in return. When one of his own men kill a village of peaceful druids, he personally comes to the location and kills the commander in charge, because there's no honor in killing people who aren't even fighting back. Garrosh's philosophy is about finding an opponent and defeating them by any means necessary, not killing peaceful villages for no reason. So, Garrosh continues his campaign against the Alliance. He's been at war with the Alliance since he's joined the Horde. Why would he stop fighting them now when they are being openly hostile towards him? So, he decides to take out the Alliance foothold right in his front yard. People may question Garrosh for blowing up the entire city, but they were at war. It's not like he just flew over Theramore one day and dropped the nuke. No, they had been fighting for weeks, if not months before that. Then the hidden continent of Pandaria was discovered. A giant, brand new land filled with natural resources. Of course he's going to want to get his hands on it. The Alliance do the same thing as well. While there, he also finds all kinds of artifacts, powerful ones that could boost the power of the Horde. He'd be stupid not to try and put them to good use. After finding the heart of Y'Shaarj, Garrosh finally has enough power to accomplish the goal.
You guys know who Garrosh looks like? Garrosh is giving Scrappy Doo. Is he not? That's Garrosh. It's Garrosh. It's Garrosh.
Of the Horde, to take out the Alliance and control the world, united under one leader. This is a goal even Wrathion wanted as well, since he knew the world would be better off if the two factions stopped fighting, and the only way that would ever happen is if one of them took over the other. So Garrosh takes all of his new wonders from Pandaria back to Orgrimmar to prepare for the coming war.
What's that? What's going on there?
It's then that the other races of the Horde rebel.
That's a pretty sick
scene! He doesn't need them anyway. They've been nothing but a dick to Garrosh the whole time he's been warchief. But then Thrall himself joins the fray. Goes to Orgrimmar, not to reason with Garrosh, the person he put in charge of the Horde, even though Garrosh himself told Thrall it was a bad idea, but goes to Orgrimmar to kill Garrosh himself. Garrosh defeats his old mentor. He's in too deep now, and has the power of an old god. Of course he wins. He doesn't kill Thrall though, because even though Thrall betrayed him, he still sees him as a kind of father figure. Then after the combined might of the Horde Rebellion and the Alliance finally take down Garrosh, Thrall is all too eager to kick him while he's down. But the Alliance king of all people stops him, and proposes a trial for Garrosh instead.
I remember that scene.
And of course Garrosh gets lampooned at his trial. Anyone on the losing side of a conflict is going to come out of it looking like a bad person. But despite all he did during his reign as the warchief, the Celestials, ancients who have lived thousands of years, and are thought of as pinnacles of wisdom and intelligence by the Pandaren, think Garrosh deserves to live and spare his life at the trial. The Celestials themselves think it wasn't completely Garrosh's fault. It's then that the Bronze Dragon Trader and Wrathion break Garrosh out of the courtroom and take him to an alternate Draenor to build an army to stop the Legion. But Garrosh has
sneak
different
him
plans.
out of there?
He wants to meet his own father himself, since he probably won't get a chance like this ever again. He meets up with his dad, in disguise, and is able to convince him to never drink the demon blood, saving the orcs from demonic influence. But meanwhile, on Azeroth,
Whoa, he
Thrall
goes
is
back
not
in
happy about
time?
Garrosh escaping. When the Iron Horde comes through the portal to invade the Blasted Lands, Thrall seizes as a chance to finally kill Garrosh. Thrall tracks down Garrosh into Grand and challenges him to Mak'gora. What's the first thing Thrall says to Garrosh as they're about to fight? You must answer for your crimes, Garrosh. Totally ignoring the fact that Celestials themselves, beacons of wisdom who have lived tens of thousands of years, said, dude, Garrosh isn't completely to blame. No, Thrall is out for blood, and Garrosh is rightfully pissed and attacks. Now, Garrosh was a pretty damn good fighter, but so is Thrall, who was raised as a warrior and became a shaman later on in life. They're pretty evenly matched, so neither side really knows who's going to win. Garrosh tells Thrall, all I did for the Horde. Because that's exactly what
And this is giving
he did.
Anakin
Who was
an
Thrall to get mad at
Obi-Wan?
him for doing what he thought was in the
You
best
are the
interest of Horde?
chosen one.
Thrall spits on this idea and tells him, no, you failed the Horde. Garrosh, while beating Thrall's smug face in, tells him, "You're the one who put me in charge. You left me to pick up your pieces. If anything, you failed me."
Oh.
And this is where Thrall cheats. He thinks he's in the right. He thinks Garrosh was alone responsible for crumbling the Horde. And in a duel where the rules are as follows, each participant is allowed to use one weapon. Body armor is forbidden. Each participant needs at least one witness. Thrall not only has
Who made
full
those
body
rules?
armor, but uses 5 weapons. His hammer,
Thrall?
fire, wind, earth, and nature magic. Garrosh only had on his pants and one weapon, like you're supposed to have. Then, as Garrosh was about to die, being killed by the man who both set him on the path to glory and set him on his own downfall, his last words are to tell Thrall exactly this: "You made me what I am." And Thrall denies any part or blame for his actions and executes Garrosh.
Wait.
And that's the end of the video. Was I able to convince you that Garrosh did nothing wrong? At the very least, do you see Garrosh in a more positive light?
Oh my gosh. Wait. I'm sad for Garrosh. Should I not be? What are people commenting? Finally, I've been saying this for ages. Thrall is the true villain. Ooh. Oh my god, I'm totally crying and convinced. I honestly almost cried too. Wait. That was very interesting. It really wasn't his fault. And he was kind of lied to about his father. And he didn't want to be the chief. I'm going to have to do some more research on Thrall. Thrall seems really cool, but I got to do a little more research on him. That was fascinating. I really liked that video. And I can't believe they didn't put the Wrathgate into the other video. What the freaking heck, dude? Overall, super good. I really enjoyed that. Sorry for the minor Game of Thrones detour, but overall, I think this was really good for me to learn some back lore. If there's any other videos like this that you guys think should be added in that will make sense for the whole pieces, please let me know. This gets me more excited to even read more about Arthas. I feel so connected to him. I don't know why. I feel like he might be my favorite character, but we will see. We will see. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video where I try Warcraft 3 for the first time. But yeah, let me know any other things you guys would like me to watch. All right, see ya.